This might be a hot take, but I used to think that building habits meant waking up early every day, creating a structured wellness routine, and being on the grind every moment of the day. I just wanted to be someone from those hustle culture videos where they're always talking about their 5 a.m. routines, their perfect discipline and structure, and having everything together. And every new year, I'd make these big commitments and then fall right back into old patterns within weeks. And the crazy part is, I used to blame myself, thinking I wasn't disciplined enough, or I just wasn't good enough, or my circumstances were just always against me compared to other people. Why can't I just be like the people who are supposedly doing this every single day? The more I learned about human behavior, the more I realized you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity and the systems that support them. My name is Angelene, and if you're in your 20s, you've found me at the exact right time, because today I want to walk you through how to actually create habits that will stick in the new year so that you can actually live a life that's more fulfilling and intentional in 2026. On my channel, I encourage people in their 20s to start choosing and creating the life that is truly meant for them. So if you're new here, I'm glad we finally found each other, and let this be your first step into your intentional 20s. First, from my experience in creating really good habits, what's worked for me, it's not about creating specific structured routines. Having a good routine is nice. Knowing what to expect on a day-to-day basis is very nice. But you have to always be ready to be flexible and adapt, because sometimes your day isn't going to go as planned. In the past year, what I have found has helped me stay consistent towards my goals and really achieve the things I've set out to achieve in the beginning of the year. Break your year into quarters and focus on one at a time. It's so overwhelming to think of your year as a whole, especially when you're planning and your goal setting for the whole year. That's 12 months, that's 365 days, and things change throughout the year. You never know what's going to happen. And each quarter of the year is focused on one thing or one specific priority or a few things that you can realistically accomplish during that time. Quarter 1 is January, February, March. Quarter 2 is April, May, June. Then you hit the second half of the year. Quarter 3 is July, August, September. And quarter 4, which what we're in right now, is October, November, and December. When you think of them in 3-month increments, it kind of makes it easier to kind of plan for, focus on, and take one step at a time, I would say. For instance, in the beginning of 2025, I set out to do a 90-day challenge, which was a challenge I created on my old vlog channel. I don't have it anymore, but I came up with my own rules. Like, I didn't drink alcohol at all during those 90 days. I didn't go on social media. I didn't eat any fast food. I prioritized school. It really worked for me. I got a lot done during that quarter. And so every quarter after that kind of had its own thing. Another thing is that I get really bored easily, and it's easy to forget about your goals by mid-year, end year. Focusing on a few at a time makes it seem like, one, not overwhelming, but two, it's more exciting when you go into the new quarter thinking, okay, I accomplished these things. What's next on the list? Another thing with that is each quarter I create my own vision board depending on all of the things that I really want to envision and see for myself throughout those 3 months. I used to try to create a vision board for the whole year. That did not work out for me. It feels more fun to like recreate, refresh myself, and remotivate myself every quarter. It's kind of a way to like check in with myself. Some of the pictures on my vision board stay throughout the whole year just because they're overarching like long-term goals for that year. If you don't know what a vision board is, I'm going to chat GPT for you. I feel like we haven't done a chat GPT definition in a while. A vision board is a visual collage of images, words, and symbols that represent your goals, dreams, and the life you want to create. You usually make it using photos, quotes, magazine clippings, or digital designs. It's meant to remind you of what you're working towards. I'm more on my laptop than anything, so every time I turn my laptop on, I see the vision board, and it's just amazing. You also just feel more accomplished this way. I feel like you check more things off your box, and it feels like New Year's all over again every new quarter, so that's kind of fun. I wouldn't create specific habits that you want to be better at. I would ask myself, like, what is the area of my life I'm focusing on for the next 90 days? Once you really kind of like identify with that habit and you really implement that habit into your lifestyle, I feel like after 90 days, it's going to start to stick. Some things might need a little bit extra help. If you really focus and hone in on something for those 90 days, it's going to help you build that habit already into your lifestyle and make it feel natural. Or it might not be for you, and the next quarter you do something different. Moving on to number 2, define your identity and then actually live through it every day. Like I just said, for the quarterly kind of format, you want to reframe habit building into lifestyle change, identity shift. You want to really think of it like that rather than being like, okay, this is a habit that I need to implement into my life. The habit you need to implement into your life is redefining your identity so that it fits the lifestyle you want. If you have a lack of self-concept, like sense of self, then it's going to be hard for you to build these external habits. If you don't actually feel called to those things, it's not going to stick. You can't build habits that are contradicting the identity you're still living through. Your brain is going to sabotage those efforts to create that habit because it's trying to protect this identity that you won't let go of. So instead of asking, what habits should I build? Ask, who am I becoming and how would that person live? Then let your habits be the evidence of that new identity. Number 3, let go of unrealistic expectations about building your habits. Most people quit habits not because they're hard, but because their expectations are way far out there. I know this because I was one of those people before. Even at the beginning of the year, I was one of those people. I really did start the beginning of this year thinking I am going to wake up every day early and I am going to go to the gym no matter what I feel, no matter what happens, because these are the habits I want to build. And by the end of this year, I realized I wasn't prioritizing an identity that was built on structure. I just identified with other parts of myself more this year. And a big thing was my emotional and mental health. And that was what really drove me to the choices I made this year and why I feel like I changed my life, even if I failed in certain other aspects. Just because you can't stay completely disciplined with one thing doesn't mean you're not disciplined at all. I just ChatGPT'd the definition of discipline. It is the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline is truly about self-control and alignment. Sometimes discipline is about evaluating your life and recognizing what's realistic for you and what's truly not. Okay, the last one that's going to help you really build these habits in 2026 is to give yourself something to look forward to after each achievement. A lot of people give up because they chase discipline with no real reward after. There's no like celebration or a sense of joy. It's just kind of like when I get to this specific place, that's when I can celebrate. It pretty much goes into the identifying with it. Like if you don't truly identify with what you're doing, it's not going to stick. For quarter 1, when we did the 90-day challenge, what I rewarded myself with was, 1, since I didn't eat any fast food, my boyfriend and I did the challenge together. We called up our friends and we were like, let's meet up at Taco Bell. And we bought Taco Bell, McDonald's, and Chick-fil-A. We just rewarded ourselves that day. In quarter 2, when I finished my college semester, it was really nice that day too. It was like in the 80s, pretty much feeling warm again after a really long like cold winter. We rode these like scooters around downtown by the waterfront and everything. It was very nice. We got happy hour, which I love getting happy hour, especially when it comes to oysters and seafood. I took a whole break from volleyball as well. So in quarter 2, after I finished that semester, I played volleyball again, signed up for a new league, and it was fun to like reward myself. It felt really good going back to volleyball after really focusing on something else. So what I'm trying to say is like your brain needs something to look forward to, not just the achievement itself. So stop waiting for by the end of this year or next year, some random date in the future that you don't even have planned. You need to find out when exactly. Create a plan, a date, a timeline, and see how you start to become that person in the meantime. Having things to look forward to is what helps keep the excitement of the everyday grind alive, honestly. So when you set a goal or a habit, I want you to ask yourself, how will I honor this win? It could be a solo date or a small purchase that you've been waiting on, a relaxing night, a break, a creative day, or just a simple reward that reinforces joy. For the new upcoming year, I want you to take a second and think about one habit that you keep telling yourself that you'll start one day when the time is right. The difference between you and the future you is just a collection of small, repeated choices towards a more intentional life. Today's journal prompt is, what is one identity I need to let go of and one identity I need to step into to build habits that will change my life in 2026? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please let me know any video suggestions in the comments, or if you just simply would like to have a conversation or answer the journal prompt even in the comments. We would love to hear about your story, hear what you have to say. For a more intentional you, hit subscribe, and I think you'll enjoy this video next. I'll see you guys there. Bye.